Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. I'm also the author of Twin Flame Union, 7 Keys to a Healthy Twin Flame Journey. All of my books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings, Twin Flame Romance, general readings, life path and purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. Welcome to Twin Flame Questions Answered, where I answer one of your twin flame questions. And this question came to me by a viewer like you. And the question is, what is the twin flame love bubble? Now, I believe that my viewer who suggested this topic was talking about one specific thing, and I'll say what that specific thing is in a minute. But really, it took me to a totally different thing that a lot of twin flames also experience. So we're going to talk about both of those things. So first and foremost, what is the twin flame love bubble? So what I believe this person was referring to is the fact that twin flames, when they come together, they have this intense connection that is usually fast and furious when it comes to this love bubble connection, where they have all the activation symptoms happening right away, which typically leads to some sort of torrid love affair where the twin flames in question are in sync with one another. They really are activating each other. They're finishing each other's sentences right away as soon as they meet. And they have this seamless union together in the 3D. Now, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, which is Twin Flame Recognition, and I'll put that link right here, sometimes this happens and it's fast and furious and it fizzles out. In other words, the intensity is so incredibly magnified for both parties that it burns itself out. Because one or both twin flames is not expecting the level of intensity that a twin flame connection brings to you, what happens is that the intensity itself tends to burn out the people involved in the twin flame intensity. What does this mean? It means that the human self, the 3D self, becomes afraid of the twin flame intensity because it's something unexpected. And it's also something that you have never experienced before. So it can be really shocking, especially to the lesser awakened twin flame. If you are a twin flame who has been through a spiritual awakening prior, or several spiritual awakenings prior to meeting your twin flame, then that twin flame intensity doesn't really seem like such a big deal. It is a big deal and it feels like a big deal, but it's not a big deal in the way that it scares you. But for the twin flame who has never been through a spiritual awakening in this lifetime, it can appear that they are turning into an obsessive freak, if you will. And it's that actually that scares a twin flame away. What I've heard the most often is that the twin flame love bubble in this sense, if you will, that is fast and furious, tends not to last very long. Sometimes it's a day, 2 days, a few months. Rarely does it exceed a year in all of my twin flame experience in coaching twin flames. And when I mean rarely does it exceed a year, it means that before things start to explode and that fuel that lights that twin flame fire, that it just burns out completely. And it's not because of the twin flame connection burning out. It's because the 3D personas, the 3D selves, the physical body selves can't handle the intensity of the connection at such a high level that is happening consistently. So let me just give you one example of a twin flame who spoke to me of her experience of sleeping with her twin flame. And she was saying that her temperature had risen so high that her skin was literally burning. Like it felt like she was on fire, burning. Now she wasn't on fire and she wasn't burning. It's just the perception of the temperature of the intensity of being skin to skin with her twin flame made her feel as if her body was burning. And it happened so much so that her person, her twin flame, said to her, I need to back up a little bit because your skin is literally burning. So when we talk about intensity, that is the intensity. Now, the other half of the twin flame love bubble that it made me think of, which is a lot more common, in fact, is the energetic love bubble that surrounds twin flames when they are in close proximity. And we're talking about physical proximity, right? When the twin flames are in close physical proximity to each other, this energetic love bubble is something that is not experienced by others, but others can see it. It's a very strange phenomenon where when you are in close physical proximity to your twin flame, and I know this happened to me so many times with my twin flame, when you're in close physical proximity to your twin flame, it's almost like this pulsating energetic exchange that is constantly happening between you and your twin flame. And the thing is that this energy that is radiating from both of your bodies and connecting the two of you is creating almost like this intense, thick cloud. And I can't describe it any other way, right? Because it's energy. But it feels like this pulsating, thick cloud of energy that is surrounding the both of you. And it's tying you two together in a way energetically, because you are tied together energetically. But when one starts to increase the distance, physical distance, it's still felt. There's still this draw back, almost like this magnetic pull back into the closer proximity. Now, this happens whether or not you see your twin flame in the vicinity. For example, I worked with my twin flame, and when he was nearby or getting closer and closer and closer in proximity to me, within 25, 50 feet, I could feel his energetic field coming toward me. So it wasn't even as if I knew he was coming toward me, but I knew he was coming toward me. The same thing is if I happened to be in a room that he entered or he was in the room, even if I could not see him, I knew based on the energetic field that was between us, which we call, the twin flame love bubble, meaning like there's just this love energetic bubble surrounding you at all times. Now, when it comes to others outside of that twin flame love bubble, here's where it gets just a little bit weird. And again, this also happened with my twin flame and I, where you could be in the same proximity space as your twin flame, but there might just be a friendship, or you might just be colleagues, or you might have dated and broken it off. There might not even be any physical contact, or there's really no relationship per se. But because of the energetic bubble that is constantly surrounding you and your twin flame in close physical proximity and magnetizing you guys to bring you closer and closer together physically, others perceive it. And that is the weirdest, most bizarre thing that I ever experienced as a twin flame in this weird energetic bubble. So it just so happened that my twin flame and I had to be in close proximity in certain spaces. And it was almost as if other people on the outside looking in were under the perception that something was going on between us when really nothing was going on between us. And it was that, unfortunately, that started a whole host of not nice things being said that were not true. And it is because of that perception of there's something energetically happening, even if people are not awake. They can sense there's just something between these two people that they can't quite understand, that they can't quite describe. And most people are going to jump to conclusions of, oh, they must be sleeping together. That must be the only conclusion. And it's not your fault. It's not your twin flame's fault. It's not one person's fault who's a twin flame. It's not the other person's fault who's a twin flame. It's just that energetic love bubble that is constantly surrounding you and your twin flame, and simultaneously, like a magnet, drawing the two of you together, that is causing this misperception of what the relationship is, regardless of the relationship. And it's such a strange thing, but there's nothing you can do to really prevent it either. Because this energy is something that connects you to your twin flame, if you're in the same physical space, it is going to happen. Others will look at you as if you're already together. Others will look at you as if you're already like dating. And it could be 100% untrue, but others will jump to conclusions that that is the case. Now, it's really interesting because another thing that happened when my twin flame and I spontaneously bumped into each other a couple years later was that we had gotten into this conversation together. And again, it was like we were in this bubble and the entire world around us faded off into the distance. And what's odd too is that I came to that venue with some people. He came to the venue with some people, or there were some people around him. And as soon as we got into our little energetic bubble, it's like the world stopped existing and then everyone else kind of dropped away and we were just left standing there alone. So it was really strange because it's not as if either one of us really perceived that that was going on because of the twin flame energetic bubble that just, it was like once we were in it, it was just he and I. There wasn't anybody else around. And it's highly unusual that that happens with other humans. Like sometimes if you're with a good friend, sure. If you're with a good friend, sometimes you're catching up and you're not paying attention to the world around you and time flies and all of that. But this is just actually something quite different. And in fact, the friend I was with, I didn't explain to him what was happening at the time, because my twin flame had actually said to his friend, like, hey, this is a person I used to work with, meaning me. And the person I was with, I just said to him, oh, hey, I'm going to go talk to this person over here. And he had overheard that we had worked together. So the next day, it wasn't until the next day that I had to apologize to the friend for the fact that I just kind of ignored him. And he mentioned to me, he said, oh yeah, like I definitely knew he was an old flame. And it's funny because he used that word. He used the word flame, which was hilarious because it's just, you know, the terminology he chose to use. When I was talking with my twin flame, it wasn't as if we were lovey-dovey, we weren't holding hands or anything like that. It was, again, just that energetic bubble that was showing to the world that there is some sort of tie between us. And again, my friend had perceived that as being an old flame, as he said, which was so funny. So I hope this helps you to kind of understand both sides of the twin flame love bubble. The love bubble from the inside, of course, that physical proximity to your twin flame and maybe the fast and furious relationship that happened to happen that burnt out because of the intensity until you're both healed, of course. And then the perception of the twin flame love bubble from the outside, from outsiders looking in and seeing and perceiving some sort of energetic connection between the two of you that is tying you, linking you together, and how they tend to perceive that. And I hope that answered your question. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames, and thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy a book or 2 or 3, you can join a boot camp or a meditation course, you can also join my group coaching. The links are all below, and I will see you in the next video.